Ake lurching forward a bit, looking for this AUI 2000 go. No, they really want to Eternal Envy. That's going to be the more important kill. They frostbite him, they've got a Fire Blast. Oh no, they actually ignite. That'll work though. That'll do the trick. Eternal Envy goes down. Easy first blood for Alliance. And that's has completed a very fast Battle Fury. Loda actually has his Battle Fury before he's even max blink. That's how quickly he's gotten it.
Yeah, 15 minutes is mediocre with first blood, and I say he's had to play as more carefully than he would have liked. For sure.
They go in bottom lane, they use their Stampede. Now a grip to come through from AOI 2000. Rotation here for the Magnus. RP, skewer him back into the tower. Brings that still lurking. They'll use it. Not enough though. Double edge to secure that, but Bone 7 may pay with his own life. There's a Shockwave ready in 2 seconds. Blink Dagger online. That is not worth it at all. He's got to juice this one. Blinking forward, then Shockwaving back. Get the hell off my top lane. Just turn around and pound through most of these backlines. He's lost 2 teammates. He cleans up the rest of those Mantle Illusions. Continues to fight the Monovoids there. Eternal Envy gets off the Sunder and ends up killing off Loda as a result. Continues to duke it out. 8 Mother will die. 2 big cores expended. Roshan still in and out. He's into the base. He's into the backline. Chewing through Alliance. Kept alive for ages. May finally go down sticky napalm. A bit of a problem for him, but they grip Loda. They're focusing the anti-mage. They can't lose him, but he barely survives for the time being. Blinking forward. Will end up going down. He'll buy back instantly. Eternal Envy still having Aegis, so they keep on going. They've lost the Aegis. Now a multi-cast on. Spada has a regen room, but can't retreat. It seems Alliance will end up holding here.
Blink shield by Abaddon, and then Magnus actually hesitated with the RP the first time. He like blinked, skewered, got sundered, and then RP'd. If he RPs immediately before the sunder gets off, maybe they kill him the first time and bring down the Aegis very, very early on instead of much later on in the fight.
Yeah, unfortunately he didn't, and not only was it a triple buyback, it was a double dieback as the Crystalmate and Batrider died again. So their item progression will be pretty well much halted. Bulldog was closing in on Sight the Vice or Lincoln Sphere. That's not going to be coming anytime soon. And, well, less important with Crystal Maiden, but looks like Misery was building what seems to be a Hex of his own.
I think
it could be double Lincoln.
Magnus needs BK, or refreshment. Screw the BKB. They need to lock down the TB.
Thunder is just such a game changer, man.
He shouldn't be allowed to get it off, though, to be fair.
It was even nerfed in the latest patch, where it has that longer cast time, but it also has longer range. So, I mean, a pseudo nerf, I guess. But it hasn't stopped Eternal Envy. He's managed to find the Sunders, and this also does go back to the question of how do they deal with his Butterfly, and I guess the double Hex will be the solution. They can get to the point where they have to.
Hexes are not that great versus Abaddon, though.
Yeah.
And he has a BKB. So they just need MKB on Loda, but if he goes MKB, he won't have Butterfly. If he goes Butterfly, he won't have Heart, so I mean, he just...
It's kind of the problem that anti-mages generally run into, because they get the Battle Fury, which is needed to split push, but doesn't really offer you much in, like, toe-to-toe combat, unless there's an RP. Great RP, then everything's different, but it's a lot of ifs. It seems Cloud9 might think they can win this game right now. 41 minutes in, they group up together top. Maybe they just go for a tier 2 and wait for the next Roshan. That would be the safer play, but they do have a double damage room bottled on Eternal Envy. Metamorphosis ready to go.
Radiant's top tower
Not seeing Alliance defending this particular tower. Maybe the high ground they can, but the Blink Clap finds Bulldog.
Yeah, maybe the high ground, but at the same time Loda's is pushing bottom, so he can actually push. Not as fast as them, but close.
Smoke, and they head... Where do they go?
Face back, smoke around, through mid.
Oh, all the way bottom. They're just looking for a pick off, I guess. Are they just going to try to breach the base? They have creeps in, I think. Metamorphosis is not used. Eternal Envy springs a sudden surprise in your face. And before you know it, say goodbye to your rack. Melee's going to start to drop. They find the right target in the Terrorblade. They got the real hero. Now RP, there was a nice aquatic shield to cancel that lasso, but he just stands strong. They need more lockdown to deal with him. He needs to get off the Sunder, and that's pretty much the fight. And with that, the game. Loda dead. That's a triple dieback with going back to the last fight and dating back to it. Cloud9 looking to advance to 3 and 2 here in the Summit 2. They'll take down the range Rex mid. Everything hunky-dory for them. They've really bounced back. And for Alliance, not quite out of the tournament yet, but getting close. They'll try and duke it out a little bit more, but they're literally being herded into the well. Nice skewer from Aim Mother. Fodder with that evasion and AC. Actually, no way. No way did he live through that. He's gonna live through it. Unbelievable. They're chasing him down, but Eternal Enemy's there with the slow. How the hell do you get skewered in the fountain, tank it for literally 5+ seconds, and still survive? A sign of just how strong C9 are. After picking up the Aegis, after multiple good fights going their way, Falcon sundering the enemy Magnus. Cloud9, truly no mercy mode engaged.
Didn't we go through this last game? Just ban it?
I think after this game, people will.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Just ban it. Magnus also shows some of his weaknesses. Medium risk, high reward hero, I'd say. Sometimes he pays off, sometimes he doesn't. This game, he was under a lot of pressure to deliver at that Roshan fight, and he just could not come up big. That was, I think, the game changer right there.
Well, with that will wrap up Cloud9 versus Alliance. Our final match of the day, I believe, is going to be Empire versus Secret. Yeah, Empire versus Secret. It's scheduled to start in 5 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Where's an hour?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. So, yeah, getting my time zones mixed up. We'll be back after a short break, guys. The Summit 2 by gtoy.com continues in just a moment. Stay with us.
Thirty seconds to battle.
Daddy on the Ogre. We might have an early level 1 skirmish as we introduce Empire. Silent. Fight initial storm. Oh, we don't have in-game silent. Let's try to fix that while the fight breaks out. They go on the silent with the arrow follow-up. And Viper will be very easy first blood. I mean, honestly, that didn't secure it on solo. Poppy will finalize the deal, but maybe they'll lose Big Daddy as a trade, and these heroes are fairly low. Are there any points? Another toxin has been skilled up, and Silent finishes off one, looks for a secondary kill. Does he get it in time? Turning on Simba, will find it, but also falling to Puppy. New Aghanims, well, it's not that new anymore, but the Aghanims that prevents you from being able to buyback is game-changing, and even before that, Reaper Sight adds 30 seconds to your death timer, period, to all deaths. So,
His heal and sustain and his damage.
well, not dead. Up your mind already. Find some Eidolons as well, and they're wrapping around again onto the mid lane. S4, War crying and charging in. He'll be able to close the distance with resolution very quickly, and the noose is already set. There's just no way to retreat. Ogre coming through, arrow to connect. That kill will go. At the same time, though, the Necrophos, the big, ugly Ogre, that bruising club. Now they use Moonlight Shadow to cover their retreat. It seems there are just a few too many arrows searching for Solo, and Puppy maybe finds another kill here. Our negative burn charge taking Solo down. He should end up falling. The neutral actually didn't hit, but
Sentry wards too. Would have been a lot worse if they had Sentry.
Not having Exodus is more black hole either. That is the power of their team play. They can deathfall almost anything. Also, Kuroki wasn't there. He was off in the bottom lane. Now has his hood picked up. I'm wondering if he actually completed. It will jump on Always Wanna Fly. Mid lane, arrow from Puppy, searching for a bit off the mark now. It's not sufficient. But gets the kill, Curl joins the fray, and now do they really commit to this Tidehunter? They have a pipe. They're gonna say, screw it, man, we're going in. We'll see the Necro. We can keep it back. Still, they lead forward. S4, off with your head, Tidehunter. Oki trying to turn this one around. Looks like he may succeed. Ogre again with the stun. They haven't addressed the Kuroki. Oh no, he still has his ultimate. Where is it? He's silenced for ages. Use it, man. That plus 30-second respawn timer. Well worth it. 85 seconds on the sideline for the Tidehunter. He will buy back, however. Still dropping like flies. Ravage, not sufficient. Always Want to Fly. Left in the tank for him. Arrow chases in. There's your Necrophos ultimate. 110 seconds on the sideline. Cannot buy back. Wouldn't be able to anyway, as 3 minutes on the cooldown and short on cold. He's got 3 reasons why he can't buy back. I think that's a later rack, so maybe 2.
Black Hole did like almost nothing here without the action. They don't have the damage to follow it up. And Viper got duped, so he had to back off, or else he would be vulnerable to getting precise too. So very cool way to deal with all these long cooldown ults. Keep fighting.
Yeah, picking a line that can fight constantly. We don't see too many lineups that don't have team fight lately, but really Secret's team fight is just their single target damage output. That being said, still an indie beast right now. So Maelstrom Prophecy seems like every other auto attack gets one. They'll kill up this Smith, they'll look for Simba as well, and they'll get that too. So perhaps Empire can spin this one around and at least make a decent trade. They're looking for another stun. Kuroki, he doesn't have his ultimate for 13 seconds, but Big Daddy, the gambler, again securing more kills for his team. While that was going on, they lost Puppy, so it is still a 3 for 2 in the end for that particular part of the game. Or 3 for 1 with a dieback.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think a lot of teams don't offer this sort of strategy because it's predicated on a really strong early game. And the support movement by Puppy and No-Tail, as well as S4 even, was just fantastic for them and really limited death profit. Look at her farm. She has BKB and Yules. It's 36 minutes into the game. And
she's got less net worth than the enemy Ogre.
Yeah, and even the Enigma is also relatively underfarmed too with the Blink Dagger and BKB, so they did a really good job of shutting down these two heroes in particular, far more than they would normally be shut down, and because of this they can not really like throw bodies at the fight, but they can take constant skirmishes with their item advantage.
Yeah, it is very, and the other thing is even if you roam well, sometimes your opponents are just, they're ready for it, you know, they scout, they have wards in the right place, the ganks just don't work. Arrows are a very, we saw this from DK. Was I cast through, you know, I think it was with Cinderin, but leading into TI4, there was a stretch where they picked, the old DK, I mean, they picked Mirana, like, first pick, like, 8 games in a row. And it wasn't working because teams weren't prepared for the Mirana roams, and it didn't catch anyone by surprise, and once those arrows didn't hit, you go to the mid-game, you have a support that just doesn't drain that much of team fights without farm. And on top of that, the rest of their drafts were normally fairly gank heavy, so like you said, it is a bit of a risky strat. Certainly not an every game thing. It's just the cool thing with Secret is there's so many tools in the arsenal. You know? This is just another one they can pull out.
There's not a really good comeback plan too. If you lose the early game, you're done for. They'll just 5-man with mech and lose. So
them down for 20. Big Daddy gets the jump in. There's your multicast. Looking for the double. It's a solo kill by Big Daddy. 5 total done. To bring down that death profit now in Aghanim ulti from the Necrophose. My goodness. When Ogre can solo kill off your death profit, you know you lost.
I think the lead arrow is still, okay. It was still just he needs like pipe and heart at this point. This whole no follow up, no go.
This guy.
Heart's ulti that's just around the well played by Secret. That was a cool strat. I like the early movement from the Sven and the Mirana mid. That was cool. And Empire never really got a chance to 5-man. Like, never was it in the point where Empire was pushing a tower and Secret's like, crap, we have to defend, which is normally what you see.
I also like the Necrophos pick, just because we don't see him that often. Seemed like once he got to a certain point, like, this Wombo combo lineup doesn't really work against him, because they just can't burst him down during the Black Hole and the Ravage.
He owned Tide, too, really badly in lane.
Yeah, Necrophos does do pretty well against most melee. So, a good win here for Team Secret. They improve their status in the Summit 2. Believe this makes them 5-1. And at the same time, Empire dropping to 1-3. Still not out of it by any means, but they need to start putting wins on the board. They're getting towards the bottom half of the pack. With that said, guys, I'm LD. He's Merlini. You can follow him on Twitter at MerliniDota. And after a quick break, we'll come back for what will actually be our final game of the day. It's Virtus Pro Polar versus the Balkan Bears Corleone. Stay tuned. You're watching Beyond the Summit.